Good afternoon or evening, everyone, and welcome to this digital open day of the School of Engineering at University of Leicester. My name is Ljiljana Marjanović-Halberd, and I'm head of school. And I'm here, I will be later on joined with one of our students and one of our colleagues, but for now it will be just me, giving you a bit more of the background of our university, but above all, the School of Engineering. University of Leicester is extremely proud of its heritage and the way we have been sort of formed. We are the only university in the world that is a living memory to the First World War. We were crowdfunded by the people of Leicester, and not only in our slogan, but in every day of our activity and everything we do, we really do like to remind us of our heritage and what are we here for, and above all, to celebrate the power of education and to create positive change in the society. We had extremely successful year this year. We are University of the Year by Daily Mail, yet another University League table. I mean, some people like to follow University League tables very much, some not. That's absolutely fine. Both approaches are completely valid. We've been obviously shortlisted. We're extremely proud that we are TEF Gold, and we really did very well in the National Student Survey, and we are top 30 for the overall student satisfaction. I mean, it is not surprising that both when we received TEF Gold and also the recognition of the University of the Year of the Daily Mail, essentially they absolutely both recognize where we excel as university, and that is in the quality of our teaching, inclusion and diversity, co-creation with our students, the power of our research and the outreach of our research, but also the fantastic outcomes that we provide for our students, or rather their prospect in a job, in the job market, which is really fantastic. Apart from this extremely successful year, we have been winning prizes as a university in the past too. And as a matter of fact, we are the only university in the UK that received 3 times Queen's Anniversary Award. But why study engineering exactly at the University of Leicester? Well, we really genuinely put employability skills at the heart of our degree programs. What does it actually mean? It means that from the day one, you will be exposed to industry standard facilities and software tools. Whether you try to sort of analyze and design something in your computer or in your lab. We do build CV preparation, career guidance in your personal tutorial system, in addition to obviously building in our curriculum. We have a very close relationship with world-leading relevant engineering organization through our Industrial Advisory Board, because if we don't cooperate with your future employers, we wouldn't really know exactly what type of specialist knowledge and transferable skills you need. And it is not really surprising that these are the destinations of our recent graduates, and obviously we are very proud of that. I do like always to point out that one of them went to work to the House of Parliament, where they work as the software lead engineer. Engineers are extremely employable, and not just in the engineering sector, but also in the IT and the finance sector too. Our degrees are accredited by IMechE and IIT, and our programs are flexible, and that is absolutely something I quite really like about our degree offering. Our year one is common to all our degree streams. We absolutely recognize that you come in, and through UCAS you have to, application process, you have to decide which engineering discipline you think you want. But then later on, once you are an engineering student, some of you, and approximately some 30% of you, likes to change and say, oh, actually, I don't want to do aerospace engineering. I prefer much electrical electronic engineering. And we absolutely accommodate that, and that is just as simple as filling in the form. We all hope that you will ensure industrial placement, and you have that year in industry. But if you decide just to go without it, you can add it on. If your life circumstances change, you can take it off. And the same with the year abroad. So we absolutely are there to try to support you in the flexibility of your sort of degree education. And again, you know, we would all encourage you to graduate with MEng degree because it's simply better for your career. So if you want to transfer from BEng to MEng, you can do so very easily, but also the other way around, because again, as I said, life circumstances changes and sometimes there is a good job offer and you want to go out with a BEng degree. Your personal tutor is assigned at the start of your course and will remain until you graduate. We do have open door policy. That doesn't mean that the moment you knocked on our door, we'll stop everything we are doing at the moment, but it means that we will discuss and arrange to see you when we can both do that. And we really do embrace diversity of our student body, and our academic colleagues as a school, we are very diverse in our makeup too. But what we really pride ourselves, and which is one of the pillars of University of Leicester strategy, is really research-informed teaching. But we see it very much as it was originally suggested all the way back in 1810, where teachers and students are equally involved in creating knowledge. You learn from us, but we really learn from you. The fact that our academics are world-leading researchers, that really gives you an unparalleled access to cutting-edge research projects. And you know, I will explain soon at one slide why is research really so important. We have leaders in many areas of engineering science, and we utilize their research activities within 5 research groups. And if you look here, our research groups are here listed. You will notice that they actually also reflect very much our degree offering. Just as we have TEF, which is Teaching Excellence Framework, TEF is actually modeled after Research Excellence Framework, something that existed since late 70s, because it is the UK government actually who wants to ensure that the highest quality research is conducted at the UK universities, and they conduct research excellence framework exercises every 5 to 7 years. Last one was in 2021, and we are all preparing for the next one, which will be a few years from now in 2029. Outputs for our academics are above all research papers, which are usually published in international journals and peer-reviewed, but also could be patents and could be other sort of relevant things that sort of improve the engineering practice. So how does that flow through student projects? We actually, when you have your individual project in year 1 or a group project in year 4, for those of you who will decide to study MEng, the ideas for that projects are actually disseminated through our research groups, and then you express your interest in the areas where you really want to do something. Here you have 2 very different examples. The year 3 student project is all done in the virtual area. It's a simulation about welding. Welding is obviously very important for sort of any engineering system. And there you have rapid charges battery. Not one student could possibly do that. This design is obviously a practical work, and it's the combination of year 3 students working for their individual projects, year 4 students working for their group project in their last year of the 4th year of their MEng, and some MSc projects. To some students, some MSc students there are doing their MSc dissertation also. I mentioned Industrial Advisory Board, sorry about the slides. And here you have the list of the companies, both through their logos and through their names, that meet with us regularly, and they help us through our accreditation, through our curriculum changes, curriculum development, for our research, for our engagement with industry. And obviously we cooperate with very different organizations, which is also important, from Rolls-Royce to research institutes such as TWI or a National Manufacturing Institute, to one-people consultancy like Luke Logan, to small, an NGOs like Equal Engineers who are dedicated to improving equality in the engineering sector. So which programs you can do here? I think you know that as well as as I do. We offer aerospace, biomedical engineering, the one that will start for the first time in October next year, electrical and electronic engineering, general engineering, and mechanical engineering. But the question now is, how do we offer them? Our educational approach is very much based around T-shaped knowledge and skills enabling T-shaped professionals. It is quite a buzzword at the moment, but it's actually very relevant for the 21st century professional. So the T-shape is all about, obviously the vertical side is your expertise that you will develop is in any certain area you choose to pursue. But the horizontal line is these really necessary cross competences that will allow you to function as a successful team member and also work in a group projects. I mean, engineering is very multidisciplinary. Even when you work on the small companies, the small SMEs, even if you produce just one supply part for the supply chain for the Rolls-Royce or Airbus or any engineering project you can think about, it's to be part of something bigger. And you need to absolutely understand the whole system in order to deliver this expert part or expert subsystem you are there to deliver. So what is our horizontal line that is building these boundary cross competences? It's actually that common year one. These are the modules or the lessons you will be listening at year one. And I don't think that anyone would argue that an engineer in the 21st century does not need to know this stuff. Of course, you will need to know mechanics, solid and fluid mechanics. Of course, you will need to understand heat processes. Of course, you will need to understand principles of electrical engineering. And of course, you will now have to understand digital, electronic, and communications. We are digital revolution. Everything talks to everything nowadays. Every part of any engineering project really communicates with something. Clearly, mathematics underpins everything you do as an engineer, but also we are left with the world that is at the moment essentially unsustainable, and we have to make it sustainable. And we have joined Engineers Without Borders UK, and we have brought them in already in year one so that you can really understand the challenge that is facing you once you join the workforce. This continues in year two because there are also further fundamental areas every engineer needs to do. It is certainly system dynamics and control and engineering management. And then in year two, you will all be doing a group project as part of your integrated engineering design. How do we assess your knowledge? Of course, you will have exams. Those exams will be, some will be face-to-face, some will be online tests, or some will be take-home exams, again, where you submit the result through the virtual learning environment or online. But in addition to exams, you will be doing lab reports, you will be doing posters individually or in a group. You will do individual assignments or group assignments. And again, the output of those assignments can be either reports, either posters, or some sort of presentation. So we are really trying to have a variety of assessment tools so that we can help you develop transferable skills. This competency, this vertical line, this is really the modules which you will be taking as part of our individual program. So each of the following slides are created by the relevant program director for each of the program. So let's start with aerospace engineering. So what is really the aim of our aerospace engineering program? It is very much about future of the aviation and about innovative and low carbon innovation. The staff academics who are teaching on that course do also cutting edge research projects, and they are developing novel numerical techniques to simulate or investigate the current issues that air industry wants to resolve, mainly about the physics of jet noise and future design of low emission aircraft engines. And so which are these modules, which are the core modules for aerospace engineering, which I call here on this slide deep dive. So you will be learning about aircraft performance and navigation, aircraft systems and propulsion, and here, I mean, fluid dynamics, spacecraft systems. It's really none of these names should be surprise for those who want to study aerospace engineering. And then you will have optional modules. In year 3 and year 4, you will be able to select modules, and you will be able, in doing so, to support yourself to specialize in the area which is particularly of your own interest. And you here have some names of the modules you will be able to select from. Electrical and electronic engineering is a completely redesigned program that we are extremely proud of. It's absolutely fit for purpose for the 21st century. It's very much, its electrical part is very much based around renewable supply of electrical energy, because that is really the future. And our electronic part is very much around Internet of Things and how technologies, how different engineering solutions are talking to each other. So it really is, the aim of the program indeed is really to sort of offer you a flexible curriculum which will prepare you for the 21st century. The curriculum is built in a close collaboration with industry, and it's very innovative and very adaptable because there are huge families of elective modules you will be able to choose. The academics teaching on that program are world-leading scientists in electrification, in energy management and storage, power electronics, renewable energy, battery management, not to read really from the slides. And again, once you, the modules that you will certainly have to have is obviously around electronic circuits and devices, signal processing, control, digital systems, and other relevant parts such as power management systems. But then this program really offers a huge variety of elective modules where you can specialize in different areas, again, including also a subset of modules which will provide you for the future of aviation industry, where both electrical and electronic is extremely important. Biomedical engineering, we are recruiting now for the first cohort of our biomedical engineering. We had a long-standing expertise in biomedical engineering research, and the program we have designed is sort of reflects that. Obviously, University of Leicester has one of the leading medical schools in the country, and our colleagues work very closely with our doctors, their colleagues in the medical school, whether on sort of simulating heart or doing something else. So you can see the emphasis of our program is on diagnostic methods and psychological processes, understand that, but also about ability to apply ethical engineering solution to healthcare challenges, because it is really health challenges are huge at the moment. The access to healthcare is very uneven across the globe and not always ethical. So that really is at the heart of our program. And as already mentioned, the cutting edge research areas of our academics, and the core modules or deep dive areas you will be diving into is obviously anatomy and psychology for bioengineers, then obviously biomaterials, imaging, biofluid mechanics, medical devices and prosthetics, of course, computational biology, and advanced biomedical signal processes. And then again, you will be able to choose from a variety of very interesting optional modules to sort of help you specialize in the area that you want to build this very distinct proficiency. General engineering, as it really says at the tin, kind of the name is, it really is trying to provide you to be as proficient as possible about emerging trends in the 21st century. As you can see here, our general engineering is very much about mechatronic systems, cyber physical systems, and application of artificial intelligence and digital twins. We see that as a modern general engineering, and that is how we have devised the program, which is why the core modules are about mechatronics, computational engineering methods, machine learning, sustainable future electrical systems. But then again, once you go to year 3 and year 4, you will be able to choose an area where you will be applying all of these skills you learn through year 1 to year 2 to kind of develop further into particular aspects. All of these images here are from the work of our own colleagues who are teaching on the program. Mechanical engineering is set up as aim of that program is really to produce a well-rounded engineers who have technical knowledge, effective communication skill, and leadership and teamwork skills, and are able to think critically and can go and work into any area of mechanical engineering. Mechanical engineering is a broad area. With our degree, you can easily go and work in automotive industry, in manufacturing industry, in energy sector. Because again, it really offers you, it sort of deepens those fundamentals. It teaches you further about heat transfer and energy systems, further about final element design and analysis, which is relevant for any system, whether you design a turbine blade, whether you design a wing and the aeroplane, or you design a cable or a heat transfer system. And we are very strong, our group mechanics, we have a research group around mechanics of materials, who is very strong, obviously, about material science. And 21st century is definitely a century of new materials and sort of new advances when it comes to mechanical engineering solutions, which are very much about kind of, new materials and improved welding processes and improved manufacturing processes. If you decide to go for a year in industry option, you will have all of these programs you can take as a year in industry option. You will be assigned a placement tutor. That's usually your personal tutor. So the person you have already developed a relationship with you, they will be also your placement tutor and will be visiting you during the placement. But also you will be really well prepared for this very competitive process of securing that year in industry. We build that in our preparation modules. It's in timetable live sessions, but there are also a lot of online resources and a specific workshop. And there is a fortnightly placement bulletin where you can inform yourself of possibilities. And our career employability team is open all summer, because that is when the main preparation really happens and the main sort of kind of application process for securing those placements. You can, of course, decide to have a year abroad. That is also all about employability skills. Again, we are living in a global world when a lot of engineering companies are very global companies. And indeed, week 1 in your job for one of these engineering big companies, you will be sent for a meeting into foreign country or even at a different continent, and you will be expected to be able to sort of deal with something like that. So this really does contribute, also develops your transferable skills. It's a different employability skill than a year in industry, but it certainly contributes to your employability skills. every student who graduates at the University of Leicester, it's a success. Every student's story is a success story. Studying is not easy. You invest a lot of effort, a lot of work. Essentially, you invest the best years of your life into that degree. And we absolutely respect that, and we are there to support you. Here are some examples. Both Sam and George are now in their work and their jobs. They have graduated this summer 2024. It's interesting that Sam actually joined us through foundation year. So again, if you don't have A-level results as you sort of were hoping for, joining through foundation year, it absolutely does not disadvantage anyone in any shape or form. But this year we have said goodbye to Sam and George last year, but now we have a pleasure of sort of having Zigis as our student, and you can learn all about that. And this research-informed teaching, and this is sort of the fantastic example. So 7 conference papers that Zigis contributed as a student, presented to, and then it's really not a surprise that he has won 2 awards, two scholarships from 2 different bodies. One is Amtech Foundation, but the other one is a prestigious IIT Talent Award. But I will now actually offer the stage to Zigis, because we can't really organize a lab tour at the Digital Open Day, but what we can do instead is invite our own student to tell you about his engineering experience here without school. So over to Zigis now.
Yeah, thank you. So hello, my name is Zigis. To start, I guess I'll just try to give everyone some more background information about myself. I am a final year MEng aerospace engineering student. I lived most of my life in Lithuania. I finished high school there when I was 18, and I decided to move to the UK to obtain an engineering degree. I chose Leicester mainly because of its connection to the aerospace sector. The National Space Centre is located here at Leicester. Space Park Leicester as well was recently opened to increase the growth in the space sector. In my first year, I was lucky enough to receive the Centenary Scholarship, which was dedicated to the 100-year anniversary of the university. Second year was also successful for me. I was the best student then. I also received the College of Science and Engineering Prize. The following year, I chose to spend in industry, working for Cummins. That year, most of my work focused on alternative fuel combustion and engine calibration. I genuinely believe that this year was probably one of my most important years professionally. And I would actually advise every prospective student to explore this opportunity during their time at university. In my 4th year, for the individual project, I focused on hydrogen combustion for internal combustion engines, and in the end, this project was awarded the IMechE Best Project Award. This past summer was also quite successful for me, as Liliana mentioned already. I attended the 75th International Astronautical Congress in Milan. My attendance was sponsored by the IIT, so that was very exciting. And following that, I received the Amatec Foundation International Scholarship, and most recently, as you can see, the IIT Featured Talent Award. So that's very nice to experience. In terms of other activities that I took up at university, I am a student ambassador for engineering. I'm also part of the university swimming team, where I was voted as the best male swimmer. I would also like to say that all these societies and sports teams are a great way to socialize. And I believe that you should join as many societies as you possibly can, because the time runs very quickly at university, and you should use it wisely. it's a lot of fun. And lastly, for my master's project, I am currently working on a Formula student-related project. We are designing and manufacturing a test rig for brake performance and emissions testing. Overall, I'd say I'm very happy with my journey here at Leicester, and I'm happy that I chose this university.
Thank you, Zigis, very much. When we were preparing for today, I said to Zigis, I don't want to tell you what to say. I want you to say what you want to say. So I'll learn new things about Zigis, which is great. And it's just absolutely as if Zigis knew what is going to be my new slide, and it is that it's not all work. And please do whichever university you choose, because you have to choose the university that is right for you. Zigis already obviously did that choice to join societies, right? And again, I've learned that Zigis is now working with our Formula team, which is absolutely fantastic. So we have our own student Formula team that is participating at IMechE competition, which runs every year. However, IMechE also runs a UAS challenge, or as I call it, flying challenge. I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm not an aerospace engineering, so flying is enough for me. And the team has named itself Argo this year and submitted for that challenge. We also have an Innova Society, which is IIT affiliate and which was voted for the Student Union Award-winning society last year. And we have academics which are supporting these three teams, both Student Formula, Argo team, or our Leicester Racing, and also Innova Society. So there will be also academic who will be able to advise you there. We do have a very active Women in STEM Society program, and there are loads of university societies. And as they say, if you don't find something you like, start your own, because Student Union would definitely support you in doing that. Well, it's a digital open day, so let's try to somehow convey where is the university in relation to Leicester city. Campus is sort of a wonderful 20 minutes walk through this longest pedestrian street in Europe. It's called New Walk. You see this lovely couple walking down the what looks like a park path, but it's not. It's actually New Walk Street. You go down and you sort of end up into Leicester Market. We have two student villages. One is in Oadby, which is probably one of the most beautiful areas in Leicestershire. The other one is next to campus. There is a free shuttle bus that goes between Student Village campus and the city centre. We do guarantee accommodation, and our accommodation starts from a very acceptable price range. And in Leicester, your money goes a long way. Leicester is a very affordable city to live in, but it's also an absolutely beautiful city to live in. Very proud of its multiculturalism, and so is university. So it really is an absolutely wonderful city that can offer you any scene, as teenagers talk about it, that you like. Anything really you want to sort of be involved with outside university, I think you can find in Leicester. University does offer scholarships, and as you have heard from Zigis, they are obviously competitive, but you can win them. And also there are awards apart from the scholarship that we absolutely encourage you to go for. More, you can learn more on the website. And this is really all more we have prepared for you at the moment. And we would be very happy to answer any questions that you have. So I'm now going to stop sharing my presentation, and I will invite my colleague Andy Truman, who is our admission tutor, but also the model convener for the Year 1 module, where we have integrated Engineers Without Border, and the academic lead for our Formula team. So if you have any questions, please do ask.
Thank you very much for that presentation, full of information and first-hand experiences of the course itself and of the subject. A couple of questions that we've had in. One is really around kind of, can you provide some advice on what to get involved with prior to applying to university? So how can students prepare themselves with experiences that will help in their application and when they start studying?
Well, I mean, I can start it, and if there is anything Andy can sort of add. I think that you have just kind of concentrate on your A levels. I personally advise students not to try to guess. I mean, it would be interesting to hear from Ziggy's how did he find the year one, and could he do something more to sort of prepare himself? I don't think that you should just focus on getting the grades that you want to get to universities. Start thinking about your interests, obviously. Explore about the university and city. Try to visit universities that you're interested in, because I think that is very important. The admission process is really driven through UCAS, so it's really them that they are dictating the process of actual application. And obviously we then we publish our entry grades, and then we obviously consider every single application based on in merits, including those who not necessarily meet all the exactly the required A level.
Thank you. Andy, from your perspective, what advice would you give?
I'd agree with everything that's already been said. From the admissions point of view, maths is the most important subject. So as long as you have the strong foundation in maths, we can build on top of that for whichever discipline that the prospective students are interested in. I would encourage research, basically. Look at the jobs markets at the end of your degree. I know it's a very early time to say that before you go on your university degree, but you will get a good indicator of what degrees are expected for the jobs that you're interested in. And then you can research the course and make sure that the taught content aligns with things that you're interested in, because then you end up on a degree that you enjoy doing rather than it being a chore.
Thanks, Andy. And Zigis, from a student's perspective, what did you do kind of before? I know you touched on kind of your kind of schooling, but in terms of what you did before you started the course, what do you look back on now as being really useful, and what would you advise potential applicants to look at doing?
Well, I personally believe that you really have to be passionate about what you want to learn at university. And I was passionate about aerospace engineering, and I did, as both Liliana and Andy said, I did a lot of research into this engineering topic, and I feel like that's what you're supposed to be doing. Alongside that, open days are great. You get to meet students, you get to speak with ambassadors, you learn a lot of stuff. So I believe probably attending open days and speaking with people who are already on the course is probably the best thing to do.
Thank you very much. Another question we've had in is, what support is there available for students to find a placement for that year in industry?
A lot of support is available. So we have a dedicated academics. Obviously, the university has a career employability service, which is now relocated into a library. It's kind of the first thing you see through the glass wall when you sort of spend your time at the library. They are there essentially all the time, right? So they're your go-to people. But we have an academic, Ian Bromley, who is not currently with us, and he is our career employability tutor. So he's teaching at year 1, 2. So the students get to know him from the day one. He gets to know the students. And so we support students through our tutoring system. Every time they see our personal tutor, we ask them, are you thinking about placement, right? And it's a very competitive process. So we are trying to really, our career employability services is really trying to find those, to advertise those places, because obviously engineering companies advertise them. So Career Employability is constantly publishing this in these two weekly bulletins. But then they are doing these workshops and they're building in classes, because you need to know how to write a CV, you need to perform well at the interview, you need to write a good applications. So there is a lot of support and one-to-one sessions, and obviously us academics are also very, very willing to sort of work with the student. So we are really trying to do as much as we possibly can, because it is important, and you heard from Zigis how important that experience was, but it is also very competitive. But what I say to students, even if you don't get it, that process of actually applying for a job while you're still at university is really helpful, because then you understand what is needed once you graduate. So yeah, so there is plenty of support.
Thank you for that. One kind of final question we've had in is, I guess A-level students and other students will be experienced kind of doing their physics A-level or other qualifications in their school or college. How is engineering at university kind of different to how they experience education at their kind of sixth form college or their school?
I don't think that there is an easy way to say it. It's very different. But then we can obviously call in the Zigis to say it is a cultural shock of moving from a group of 30, and for some A-levels here in the UK, the way sixth form is run, it's even a smaller group than 30, into being, and we are the small school, so our year one cohort is 250. You have much bigger engineering schools and much bigger cohorts, right? You can be one of 800 at some universities. Here you're one of 250. So that is a big change, right? You don't have a class teacher anymore. You have a lecturer. You are expected to be much more independent in your learning. But having said that, I mean, you will still have homeworks. We just won't call it homeworks. We will have weekly labs. You will have tests every 4 weeks. For example, our engineering mathematics 1, we stopped doing exam, but we are sort of phased in 4 tests to help students to adjust to the change of sort of, examination. So it is different, and there is no way of sugarcoating it, nor it should be sugarcoated, right? But that's why it is so interesting, and that's why it is sort of, it's the best time in your life. Sigis, anything to add?
Yeah, I suppose I could add that, as you said, university is a lot of individual work, and you have to learn how to teach yourself some stuff, because obviously lectures are very helpful. They give you a lot of knowledge, but you have to understand that a lot of it is on your shoulders, and it's your work that you're doing at university. So yeah, that is that.
Indeed.
Well, that's all the questions we've had in. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and thank you, colleagues, for a fascinating presentation and a walk through engineering at the University of Leicester. I have put into the Q&A, if there are any other queries or any other questions that attendees have, then I'll put in a link to our website. But once again, thank you, and thanks for joining.
Thank you all, and good luck. Bye now.